When I started to think about the speech for today, I started with the questions like what makes justice, courts, and related institutions crucial for our lives? Because the idea of justice for me was something in the air. It wasn't an actual entity for me. And I also made me feel like I cannot understand fully and I cannot interact with it. Because of my education in political science, I became eventually very interested in all of these issues. But what actually triggered my mind was the idea of injustice that exists all levels, and it doesn't matter if it's between two individuals or in between two states. And also how the idea of justice is actually very different for every person. But then I thought there must be a way to make it common and fundamental to solve any kind of conflicts. And I think also it's very important to understand and interact with these concepts like justice and peace in order to make them applicable not just in our courts, but also in our lives, and make these concepts as basis of our judgments and our relations with our friends, with our families, with our societies, and with the world in general. So today, my question is how we can make the World Court more transparent, that everybody can understand how they function to provide a greater justice. And I believe that sustainable justice, which will be lasting also for future generations, can be more solid and applicable in people's lives through using more technological developments that gave us the tools actually to reach even like the most distant places very quickly and easily. And you might find this interesting, but a smartphone in your pocket gives you the access to more information than President Clinton had when he was in his office. And I think the court could use this opportunity of new technologies, and especially social media, to become more transparent and inclusive to public. And what we mean by public is an average person in any society, because the fact that almost everybody is using social media tools like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and whatever you can think of in their daily lives, and almost for everything, like to access the information, to read about the news, to speak with each other, and even for controlling the devices around them. And social media is not just about giving people a voice, but also giving them a platform to contribute, to collaborate, and connect with each other. And if I take myself as an example, I use Facebook to share my ideas, and I speak about them with my friends, and I discuss. And also we use a lot of like our Facebook pages to create projects and also discuss about them. And we sometimes can find even funding through using internet for our projects. One of the outcomes that we collected in our Idealab is suggesting that if ICJ would have a Facebook account, which might sound that really simple and not very brilliant, but actually if the court would have a Facebook page that we create a mock-up for you here, it would facilitate a direct and two-way conversation with anybody that wants to be better informed about the issues. And it could make the court more transparent and providing individuals a more solid idea of the workings of the justice at different levels. And you might think that not having a social media account is not a big deal, but because we use these platforms every day, it actually sometimes takes just one post to spark one's interest or to make a real change in people's lives. And not only social media platforms, but technology in general makes us feel that we are a part of this web of communications, applications, and websites in big single world. Each of us related to each other in different ways, but indeed we are being very present in it. And if we share the ideas like peace and justice with court within this big network and making the court being very present in it, that would create the great difference for the future generations. And this year, we are celebrating 70 years of global justice through the work of the International Court. The rulings of the court have prevented wars and conflicts, and we believe it's a message that's worth sharing also with younger generations. the work of the ICJ can serve as an inspiration for our own disputes with fairness and impartiality. Thank you very much for listening.